What's going on, guys? Matt over here, Lethal Garage, and it is time to reveal, well, actually, it's the reveal of the horsepower that the car is currently at, but it's also to talk through where we're at with the build and why we're not at the numbers I hoped I would be at. So there's a little sneak peek, not as high as I hoped, but I know exactly why. I knew it was gonna happen because we didn't have the right parts when we put the supercharger on, but I'm gonna walk you all through that. So let's get to it. First and foremost, you guys know I swapped my Pro Charger setup for my Whipple. I get questions all the time. Why? Why did you switch? Biggest reason, I wanted something different. I would say that was the primary reason. I would say the secondary reason was I liked my Pro Charger, but I now drive my car more often as a race car than I do as a daily driver around town, obviously because I have the truck. And I wanted power down low. I wanted to feel the power when I got on it, right at the line, no matter what, whether I'm at a light, whether I'm at anywhere. I wanted to own that kind of setup and see how it felt and kind of run through the problems or potential issues that I would have having that. Now, jumping ahead, the big question is what's the difference between the Pro Charger and the Whipple? Now, as you guys know, I opted early on for the smaller head unit. So I just want to caveat here, the P1 unit, it's a great supercharger. It was great. The problem was I decided I wanted more power after the fact, and the downside of that is that was going to require me to buy a whole nother head unit. And if I wanted to go to the bigger unit, I would need basically new everything. And that was going to be really, really expensive. And I was like, well, do I really want to upgrade my car to another, Senti setup and go down that road and see what it can do, or maybe switch it up? And so the problem I was running into is the P1 unit that I had, being the smallest unit they make, we couldn't spin it any faster. We were at a point of diminishing returns. There was just nothing more we could do with that setup. So again, I had to upgrade to a different unit if I wanted to make more power. And with that, I was already going to have to upgrade my injectors. I was already having to upgrade the fueling because I was at the max of what my car was at comfortably. Could we have pushed it a little bit more? I'm sure we could have. But I would rather my car be comfortably tuned to run really good than pushing it to its max and breaking something. And that's kind of something I've always been a fan of. And I know Ryan at Cunningham Motorsports, he's an amazing tuner. He knows how to dial these cars in, but he's not going to push your car to the point of breaking, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I guess, when I go to the track and stuff, I do bang on the car a little bit, but, around town and stuff, I'm not that street race guy or whatever. So I got rid of the Pro Charger, decided to go with the Whipple, so it's the 2.9 liter Whipple. I would really like to get an even bigger one down the road. That would be freaking awesome. I heard Whipple's working on something. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. They haven't told me, so I'm just speculating here. But the power difference, as you guys know, I was spinning my car at 747 horsepower, 614 torque with the Pro Charger, just swapping to the Whipple. Basically all the same settings for the most part. The Whipple jumped me up to, I think, 690 torque, so we jumped up almost, pretty close to 80 wheel torque, and horsepower only went up 20, or a little less than 20. Actually, a lot less than 20, 13. So 760, 690, it was like 691. And a lot of you are like, well, that's not worth the cost of getting a whole new supercharger. Well, in reality, I didn't have the whole cost of a new supercharger. And then the other side is we're nowhere close pushing this Whipple to the max of where it's at because of fueling problems I have. So when I installed my Whipple, I had meant to get the big bore LPE pump, or Lingerfelter Performance Engineering, LPE pump, but they've been out of stock forever. And they actually just started shipping them this last week. And I had hoped, the reason why I delayed this video so long is I had hoped to be able to get that pump sooner so I can actually do a video of the car being at the power level we had hoped it would be at, which will be well north of 800. but we don't have the fuel pump. So not having the proper fuel pump limits the ability to fuel the vehicle and the new injectors that I got, and we're sitting where we're at because that's just where we're at now. Again, I'm sure Ryan could push it a little bit harder and get a little more numbers, but I told him, I was like, let's be conservative. I'd rather go for a build that's going to last a long time, or hopefully forever, versus a build that you know, is pushing the max and is ready to blow. Now, a lot of you guys, you like pushing the max and ready to blow. I would rather invest money in other projects than have to rebuild my motor. You know, I've already put the rod and piston kit in from Cunningham, which is holding up really well. But yeah, that's just where I'm at currently. So power wise, 760 to the wheels and 691 torque to the wheels. Here's the dyno graph, and you can see how the power curve is different from the Pro Charger. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really happy with where the car's sitting right now. It scares the heck out of me driving it, just saying. But once we get the proper fuel pump back on there, you know, we'll be able to jump the power up quite a bit. Torque and horsepower will leap quite a bit. We're not even close to tapping in these fuel injectors from Fuel Injector Connection. They're really good, but again, I'm gonna hit a fueling problem again. Now, the other side is I've been dabbling and talking with Ryan about this, and you guys are gonna be like, I told you so, and that's fine. But potentially just going to like C16 fuel instead of E85. And that would eliminate the fueling, and this road is terrible. That would eliminate my fueling problems completely, because as you know, E85 requires 30% plus more fueling. You know, the stoic level is just so out of this world to get the fuel to air combination proper. But going to a C16 will allow me to have a lot of extra fuel system, and it just eliminates the problem. The other thing is I am putting it, the cam that I have in here is built for a Senti style supercharger, my Pro Charger. So we are upgrading the cam, because when I did spec out the cam originally, it was spec'd out to not really ever go above 700 horsepower. Well, we're there and we're going further, and so now I need to slide in a new cam with a bigger fuel load to take advantage of the bigger bore on the new fuel pump. It's just one of those things where when you set out to make your build, you have like, okay, this is where I'm going to be happy at. I'm happy where I'm at. The funny thing is I just want to push further and harder, and I don't even know why. I can't even tell you why I want more power. Maybe it's just to just keep doing it. It's fun. It's kind of become I guess it's more than a hobby for me now. It's almost like a living. But I love it, and it's fun to really push the car, see how it drives. Like here, well, this thing just wants to take off. So I have my R888s on right now, so that actually hooked pretty good, but it started to slip at the end, and I do have all my nannies turned on, so that's probably why. But yeah, it's just been really fun. So I'm really excited for that fuel pump to finally show up. I believe my cam is already at Cunningham Motorsports, so we're gonna swap the cam out. I might actually try to tackle that on my own. I've never done a cam swap before, but as you guys know, I put the Whipple on as much as I could, and I did need a little bit of help to make sure the new fuel pump and injectors went in right, because I had never done that before. At the end of the day, it wasn't completely difficult, but I'm really happy I had a little bit of assistance to make sure I did it right. But I think it would be really cool to just get into my motor and put a cam in there. I think that would be something interesting, because I've never done it. Now, I'll probably end up going to Cunningham and just have them do it, because they'll do it probably a lot faster than I can, and I just don't have free time right now. But basically all of that won't happen until after Camaro Fest 8, and hopefully things will calm down a little bit. It's going to be summer, so it's going to get really hot, and I can start finishing up and hopefully get the build to a place where it's done, and then we can start talking roll cage. Yeah, roll cage, it's still a thing. So here, maybe we can drive around, listen to the exhaust, maybe get a couple pulls. This guy's out here flying his plane. This car just wants to take off. Now, the other problem I have is I'm out of brakes. When when I go really, really fast, I mean, the brakes slow the car down, but I would probably like a better brake setup to really let it bite. The bigger problem I have is I'm drag racing more often than not than I'm doing anything else. And going with a bigger brake kit means I would have to go with a bigger wheel for my drag setup, which means I need new wheels and tires for drag racing. I don't think I want to spend the money on that. I'd rather put the money towards other things. Or the potential purchase, if GM comes out with a Z28, yes, I am going to get a Z28. I hope it's an all-motor monster. If they do come out with one in 2020, which I think they will, or a variant thereof, that will become a road course car for me. Now, if they don't come out with one, I'll probably get a 5th gen Z28. You can get those at pretty good prices now. And yeah, I do want a road course. I've been talking with a lot of people. Jay's 2 Cents, Jonathan Davey, whole bunch of guys who go road course racing all the time. They've all offered to give me pointers and go out with me and help me out. And I mean, I want to learn. I'm a total novice. I'm not going to go pretend I know how to freaking drive a race car, because I don't. I really don't. And I would love to learn, whether it's on a beastly car like that, or maybe I get a really cheap car. I was almost thinking of getting the new 2.0 Turbo 1LE, but the problem with that is it's still like $33,000. I was like, well, for $6 grand more, I can go get a freaking Z28. Like, why would I get a 2.0 1LE? Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. But I'm rambling now. We'll get some more driving in. I love the way this car sounds. I really do. And she takes off like a bat out of hell. And no more freaking blow off valve. That is probably the biggest thing that I love. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a cool sound, but it was just, people were turning around to see my car, not because it was the car or how much power it had, but it was because they could hear a freaking blow-off valve going from 10,000 miles away. There it is. Let's do some. There's a lot of cars up here, and there's definitely cops over here all the time, so I'm not gonna get too crazy. But oh, she's driving so good. I love this car. I love it. I love it. Oh, there's a cop. I have no idea why I stopped recording as I passed the cop, and then on top of that, maybe it's probably because I passed like 4 cops. So I was coming down the road, there was a cop sitting way off the thing, which wasn't there when I drove by the first time, but coming back he was there. And then I went through that stop sign down the hill, and there was 2 more cops down there. It was almost like, I was like, oh my gosh, did someone call the cops? Now they're waiting to catch me. I was driving the speed limit at that time once I was in range, but I stopped recording the video, and then I was talking through as if I was recording the video, and then the next video on there was me thinking the camera was going off, so apologies on that. So a couple things I just want to wrap this video up with. Yes, 760 wheel horsepower, 690 torque. Here's the dyno graph again. Cunningham Motorsports, huge shout out to them for helping me get the tune all dialed in ahead of CamaroCon. Also a huge shout out to Bowtie Britches for coming over and helping me with the tight spots of things that I didn't know what I was doing, or helping me just verify I was doing it right, including the fuel injectors and all that stuff. The other stuff is Whipple. Huge shout out to them and Fast Tech Performance for getting all the parts and pieces sent over. I got the kit from Whipple. It was missing a couple pieces. I thought it was, sorry, not missing, but the kit came with what it was supposed to. I assumed some of the parts were coming, but they were just check boxes not checked. We ended up getting the pieces properly, like the map sensor on the back side of the supercharger wasn't in the kit. It is an option you can check. So we had to get one of those to be able to install it properly. It was a crazy nightmare. But big bore fuel pump is coming. It will be in the car. It will be making its full power at that time. Or not full power, but full power at the fuel system I'm at, We may go down the road of testing it under 110 or something. I just don't know if I'm going to invest into a methanol kit just yet. I'm going to have to do that to get to the power levels I'll be at. But doing like a C16 with methanol, that's like 900 wheel horsepower territory, crazy town. So as you can see, the car launch is really good as is, but the other side of it is the dyno pulls from the dyno testing. So I'm going to jump to those. I'm going to put those here, and so you can check them out right here. Let's do it. Yeah. But there you have it. That's the current power, 760, 690. Not exactly where I want to be at yet, but again, limited by fuel. High side pump, it is coming from Lingenfelter. It is like literally en route as I'm making this video. So hopefully we can get that in. We'll get the new cam in. Everything will be good, and we'll do lots more big numbers. But that's all I got. That's it. So likes, comments, shares are always appreciated, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are interested in learning more, see where the build is going, follow the journey, see more install guides, everything, stuff on the truck, Lethal Garage stuff. It's all here. It's all going to be happening weekly. It's summertime, so I kind of slow down the videos. I'm going to be just doing 2 a week, maybe 3 if I can get Drive With Me's completed. But outside of that, again, I do appreciate you guys being a part of the channel, following, liking, subscribing, sharing, bringing friends over, all that stuff. So until next time, guys, I do hope to see you on the road.